Hello and welcome to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas, as we're all set for a three-game series between the Tufts University Jumbos and the Trinity University Tigers. Hello, everybody. I am Cole Isaacson here from the roof on the Bell Center on Trinity University, right by the baseball field, all set to give you this intriguing non-conference matchup. We'll start with the Jumbos lineup. Malcolm Whitfield doing the catching will lead things off, followed by James Henshin, A.J. Lisco, Tate Banish, McKiernan, Bohane, Kamen, Abraham, and McCullough will round things out in the 9 spot. And on the mound for the Tigers will be the usual Saturday starter, Jake Beck, making his 4th start of the year. He's pitched 17 in a 3rd inning so far, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks. The ERA at a very solid 2.83, 2-0 record overall. He'll be on the mound. And he'll face Whitfield, who will lead things off. About to get underway from San Antonio. 80 degrees at first pitch. And it starts with a chopper to third off the glove of Lustina into left field. Whitfield rounding first and heads to second. A sliding leadoff double on the first pitch of the game. So Whitfield aboard early. A leadoff double for the Jumbos and an opportunity to get ahead of one of Trinity's best starting pitchers this season. Early as Henshin will come into the batter's box. The sophomore from Wellesley, Massachusetts. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it into the screen. Henshin making his 6th start of the year, a .235 hitter so far. Had 36 starts last season, was a .324 hitter with 22 RBI. 2025 All-NESCAC second team. Somebody they're looking to get going offensively. They try the pick to second. But the runner able to get back safely in Whitfield. Beck already working with somebody on. Something he's used to doing, the whip coming into this game around 1.3, so used to having traffic on the bases. Has to deal with it with nobody out in this game so far. The 0-1. Grounded to second. Haynes ranging over, loses it. Has to get back on top of it. Runner coming home, and Whitfield is safe. Gets on by way of the double and comes around to score. It's 1-0 Tufts. The ball just getting away from Sawyer Haynes at second base, and it brings up A.J. Lisco. .250 hitter on the season. Making his 5th start of the year. Still nobody out. First pitch misses, low and away for Beck. Jake Beck coming off of a start where he pitched into the 6th inning against Kane. Game that the Tigers would ultimately win 7-4, breaking up a 3-game losing streak. The 1-0 is driven out to left field. Jones under it, backs up towards the warning track to make the catch. The first out of the game recorded by Beck. Coming into this game, talking to head coach Brian Stark, said that his ball club not hitting the way they would have wanted to so far this year. Still able to be 5-0 coming into this game, but still want to get things going more offensively. Have done that in a big way so far. And it brings up Tate Banish, the cleanup hitter. First pitch to him with 1 down. And Writing able to block it in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 hits to start the game for the Jumbos, a double and a single, before Lisco flew out to left field. Pitch misses in the dirt. Writing has to block it again behind the dish. Banish ahead 2-0, making his 6th start of the year in 6 games for the Jumbos. .294 hitters so far this season. He does have the Jumbo's only home run this year. He'll try and get the runner at first in Henshin, who dives back safely. Tigers, the number 9 ranked team in the country, come into this game 7-5 off a win against Muhlenberg. Had a tough run of play recently, but hoping to turn things around. They've won 2 of their last 3. This is chopped foul into the screen, and it's the first strike of the plate appearance. 2-1. Wind blowing the way it usually does, slightly from right field to left field. In that Kane series last weekend, Trinity had to deal with the wind blowing mostly in, something pretty unusual for this ballpark. Now the 2-1 to Banish. Takes it high, and it's 3-1. Tigers had been the number 1 team in the country for 2 consecutive weeks after their series victory against the defending national champions, University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. The 3-1. Fouled off, and the count runs full. Since that series victory, Trinity has won a series against Babson, who's been receiving votes in the Division III poll. Lost to number 25 Texas Lutheran at the time, and lost a top 10 series against Kane. Currently ahead of them by 1 spot. They check on the runner at first again, back safely. Trinity also able to get kind of a sloppy victory against Muhlenberg. Led by 2 for most of that game, ended up pulling away late in that one. Won 5-1. Beck about to deliver a full count pitch with 1 down in the inning. Banish waiting for it. Not yet. Another throw to first, as they do not want Lisco out there. He has stolen a base this season, has not been caught. The 3-2. Banish rips one down the line, but foul. Just out ahead of it, and it ends up going towards the Trinity bullpen and foul ground. Ball was absolutely ripped, though. Got it down the line, just couldn't find it fair. We'll do the 3-2 pitch all over again. Take 2. Inside, and it hits him. And Banish has to crouch to the ground. Looks like it got him on the hands. And currently in some pain. We'll see where that hit him. Up and in, and right on the wrist. And you got to worry about Tate Banish right now. A hit by pitch. So he'll get checked out. So far, no replacement coming out. Seems like he wants to go to first base. Now the Trinity trainer will come out, take a look at him. Ball that rode up and in, got him right on the wrist. Puts runners at first and second with only 1 down in the inning. Banish, a first year who has already made quite the impression for Coach Stark and his staff. Hitting cleanup this early in the year, and it looks like he's going to stay in the game. Will head to first base. Tufts already up 1-0. Got the run before they even had an out recorded. And now have runners on first and second, going for a big inning. Now McKiernan steps into the batter's box. The right fielder today, a .294 hitter on the year. Up and in again from Beck. 1 ball, no strikes. McKiernan in 24 plate appearances last season. or excuse me, 24 appearances last season, a .225 hitter. Swing and a miss there, evens the count at 1-1. Already a considerable step up for him in his senior year. Making his 6th start of the year, and his most important hit of the season coming against Johnson and Wales, a walk-off double that sent Tufts to 5-0. Beck thought about throwing the second, but nobody was there. Of course, Tufts coming off that walk-off victory, a game where they were down by 3 runs in the 8th inning, down 6-3. Looked like they were going to be handed their first loss of the year. Rallied to win the game and walk it off in the 9th, 7-6. The 1-1. Popped up high into the air onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3 hops. For those of you who are new to our broadcast, we have an exposed setup here on the campus of Trinity University. Overlooking the baseball field is the roof of the Bell Center. That's where we are. An exposed setup, so we get to count the amount of times that foul balls on the roof hop. Record is 7, and haven't seen one get anywhere close since then. Slider misses in the dirt. Writing nicely blocks another pitch. Evens the count at 2-2. Beck has been hit around in his last several starts. Gave up 9 hits in his last start against Kane. Gets strike 3 here, though. McKiernan goes down looking on the inside edge. 2 down in the inning. And it brings up Cole Bohane. The sophomore, the native of Massachusetts, a 167 hitter on the year. Only made 2 appearances last season. This already his 3rd start of the year. Takes strike 1. Tufts with runners on first and second, 2 down in the inning. Already with a 1-0 lead, trying to extend it. Beck has given up 9 hits and 7 hits in his last 2 starts. Tufts already with 2 today. Check swing, but he went around. Goes down as a called strike and an 0-2 count. Wind continues to blow out to left, as you can probably hear in my microphone. Beck trying to finish the inning. The 0-2. Swing and a miss on a slider. And that ends the frame. Beck strikes out the last 2 batters he sees, but Tufts on the board early with the 1-0 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the inning, where the Tigers will be up to bat when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. About to get started for the bottom of the 1st inning, and we'll run through the Trinity Tigers lineup. Leading off back in the lineup is Caleb Woodward at center field, followed by Cal Coney at DH, Baker at first, Lustina manning the hot corner at third, Sawyer Haynes, Will Dixon, Matthias Writing at catcher, Nick Jones out in left, and John Ramsey in the 9-hole at short. And on the mound for the Jumbos is Paul McCarthy. McCarthy so far this year has not given up a run through 5 1/3 innings pitched. Only 1 appearance so far this year. It was a start against Hobart, making his 2nd start of the year today, and trying to make it as good as the first one. Tufts has been relying a lot on run prevention so far this year. Hoping to continue that trend as he continues his warm-ups. McCarthy, a first year, definitely made an appearance in that one start against Hobart. Able to be the game one starter here in a series against a top 10 team. So he'll face Caleb Woodward, who's been dealing with a bit of a back issue that's kept him out of the lineup. Been extremely potent when in the lineup. A .550 hitter coming into this one. 5 RBI and 6 runs. OPS well over 1,000. That is who McCarthy will have to deal with. First pitch to him. Strike called. Able to find the zone with a breaking ball, already dealing with a 1-0 lead. His offense was able to get for him before an out was recorded in the first. Facing the lefty, Woodward. Takes the ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers looking to start fast. Pitch high, 2-1. We're able to get a home run in the first inning in the game against Muhlenberg on Wednesday from Cal Coney, who's on deck. All teams like playing with the lead. Trinity no different, trying to get their first one here. Woodward waves at that pitch, and it evens the count at 2-2. Tigers coming into this game 7-5, 4-1 when Caleb Woodward is in the lineup, including all 4 games against Wisconsin Whitewater. Pitch misses and the count runs full, 3-2. Strike 3 called. Woodward goes down looking. The first strikeout of the day for McCarthy. Let's see where this one was. Looked like a changeup bent back in. So 1 away with nobody on for Cal Coney, who's the DH today. Coney, a .217 hitter on the year. 2 RBI. Both of them came against Muhlenberg. A home run and a sacrifice fly to start his day on Wednesday. This pitch rides inside, and Coney has to get out of the way. Count 1-0. Strike called. Coney in at DH today. Sawyer Haynes has started the last several games at second base for Trinity. Check swing foul for Coney. Count 1-2. Haynes, the sophomore, got all 3 starts against Kane at second base. Coney getting back into the lineup at second base against Muhlenberg and able to do enough to cement his spot in it once again. Was a regular on last year's team that went to the College World Series. Trying to get the bat going though. Take strike 3 here. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for McCarthy. And again, it's the changeup. And it brings up the lefty, Will Baker, playing at first base today. Baker hitting .341 with 9 RBI and a home run. Takes a ball outside. Baker with a scorching start to the year. Still leads the team in RBI, though. John Ramsey catching up at 8. Inside out swing, foul ball out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a lineup that's been shuffled around quite a bit for Trinity so far this season. The 2 mainstays when healthy have been Caleb Woodward in the leadoff spot and Will Baker hitting third. Baker sends this one high into shallow right field. McKiernan ranging in, and he makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for McCarthy to get things going. His team with the 1-0 lead in San Antonio will head to the second on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio. Tufts with the 1-0 lead. Jack Kamen will lead things off for the Jumbos, and he takes strike one from Beck. Kamen, the designated hitter in today's game. Sophomore, native of Massachusetts, making his second start of the year. Takes strike two. Kamen has no career hits so far, looking for his first one. Not a good start to this plate appearance, though. Down 0-2, trying to battle back. Blinds one the other way, but looping foul into the Tufts bullpen out of play. Beck trying to rebound from a first inning where he gave up one run on 2 hits. 2 hits to lead off the game. Would get 3 of the next 4 batters he faced. This is lined into center field, and it's the first career hit for Jack Kamen. As he'll stop at first, it's a leadoff single for the Jumbos. The leadoff man reaching in 2 consecutive innings for Tufts. And now it's Caden Abraham, the junior, native of California, a .333 hitter so far this year in 4 starts. Made 16 appearances last year. .207 hitter. So already a much better start to this year. Takes the ball away. Runner on first is Kamen. See what he can do on the base paths. Swing and a miss from Abraham. Evens the count at 1-1. Try and get him at first to no avail. .80 degrees at first pitch in San Antonio, projected to get up to 88. Pitch misses in the dirt. 2-1 hitters count. Talking to Coach Stark, said that they're happy to get out of the cold, but more importantly, happy to make this trip to play a competitive team like Trinity. Says you can learn a lot from playing a top 10 team like this. Tufts already undefeated, trying to continue their winning streak. Pitch misses away, and Beck falling behind 3-1. In danger of putting runners on first and second with nobody down. I'll try and erase the runner at first once again. Kamen diving back safely. Wind blowing a little harder out to left field. The 3-1. Called strike and the count runs full. Beck got ahead 0-2 on Kamen, who's now on first base. Fell behind 3-1 here, trying to battle back himself. Runner off and going. The pitch fouled out of play, and we'll do it again. Unclear what Kamen is capable of on the base paths. That was his first career hit, so hasn't been on first base very much. So a bit of an unknown commodity over there. Tigers assuming he can run. Tried to on that last pitch. See what he does here. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Abraham goes down for the first out of the inning. Now Jesse McCullough, senior, native of Massachusetts, making his 6th start in 6 games. A .231 hitter so far this year, with 4 RBI to his name. Last season made 33 starts for the Jumbos. Cuts and misses at that first pitch, down 0-1. Last season for McCullough, a .235 batting average, but hit .300 in the prior 2 years. Fouls this one into the screen, down 0-2. Trying to get back to that prior version of himself. At a .300+ batting average, .400+ slugging percentage in each of those prior 2 seasons. But ended his last season in a pretty solid way. Got a hit in each of the 3 NESCAC tournament games against Middlebury. Beck will wait to deliver the 0-2. Tries to get Kamen again at first. Still only 1 down in the inning. Beck has surrendered 3 hits so far through an inning and a third. Now the 0-2. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire, and there's 2 down in the inning. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Jake Beck. He struck out 4 of the last 5 batters he's faced. See what he went with here. Like some kind of breaking ball, just barely gets the check swing to go around, and it'll flip the lineup over. Malcolm Whitfield, the leadoff hitter who doubled the last time he saw Beck. .316 hitter now on the air. Ball gets away for a second. Writing able to hop on it, stop Kamen from advancing. And on top of that, they say Whitfield went around for strike 1. 2 down in the inning. Runner waiting on first. Slider finds the zone, strike 2. Beck trying to work his way out of even more traffic. Two down, the 0-2. Line past the dive of Haynes on the ground. Runner and Kamen will go from first to third, sliding in safely. The 2nd hit for Whitfield today. Puts runners at the corners for Tufts with 2 down in the inning. Just past the dive of Sawyer Haynes at 2nd. Had a couple just out of his reach today, and runners at the corners, still 2 down in the inning. The 2nd base hit given up by Beck in this frame. And it brings up Henshin, another guy who singled off of him. 1 for 1 today with the base hit in the 1st. Takes a strike. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball misses. Thought about going around, but it looks like he checked his swing. Mentioned the shortstop today. We mentioned the success he had in his prior seasons. Guy they're trying to get going here. Pitch misses. Now a 2-1 hitters count. Tufts trying to score a run in the second consecutive inning. Plated a run in the first. Now trying to do the same here in the second. Out hitting Trinity 4-0 so far. Pitch finds the zone. Strike called. And it evens the count at 2-2. Henshin already with an RBI today. Brought in Whitfield in the first, trying to get his second RBI of the game. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Beck strikes out the side and leaves two Tufts stranded, as it'll send us to the bottom of the second. Trinity down 1-0. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas, as Michael Lustino will lead off this inning, the third baseman today. 278 hitter on the year, starting to get the bat going a little bit. Slider from McCarthy finds the zone for strike 1. McCarthy, who had a 1-2-3 first inning, trying to do the same here in the second. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch high, and it evens the count at 1-1. Lustina, a guy who through all the lineup fluctuation has remained in the lineup pretty much every game. The 1-1 waves at the breaking ball, and it's 1-2. He's made 12 starts so far this season. All 12 games the Tigers have played, he's been in there. Slugging .417 this year, on base percentage of .469. He's also stolen 7 bases. Takes a pitch outside. 2's on the board. Not the guy that you would expect to lead the team in stolen bases necessarily, but he does have that to his name. It's only been caught once. Fouls it into the screen. It stays 2-2. Trying to get on here and show what he can do. Now the 2-2. Hit on the ground, a short. Henshin ranges over and makes the throw in time for the out. One thing that should be noted, a defensive substitution that happened in the first inning, as Tate Banish has been taken out of the game. Brooks Fisher now in. the first year from Studio City, California. One down in this inning, and it brings up Sawyer Haynes, hitting 5th today, playing at second base. He's gotten in the last couple of times the Tigers have seen action. Takes a strike. Haynes down 0-1. So far, over a 500 hitter on the year. Pitch just misses to even the count at 1-1. Or excuse me, he's a 300 hitter on the year, slugging at over 500. Still puts his OPS in a good spot, over 900 in that category. McCarthy just misses on another one. Now behind 2-1. One down in the inning, nobody on. Strike called. McCarthy, who has yet to surrender a run this season so far, on a similar track to his last start against Hobart. Went just over 5 innings in that one. Trying to continue his scoreless stretch. Swing and a miss here. Haynes out in front of the breaking ball. Third strikeout of the game for McCarthy, and there's 2 away. And now it's Will Dixon. Last chance the Tigers have in the second. Starting out in right field today, hitting sub 200, trying to get that up. Transfer in his first year with Trinity. Tigers really excited about him coming into the year. Takes a pitch outside, ahead 1-0. Dixon making his 9th start of the season. Trying to get that bat going. Waves at that pitch, and it's 1-1. For the season, Coach Scannell talking about how desperately they needed left-handed hitting in the middle of this lineup. Still hoping that Dixon can provide that for them. Count now 2-1. Of course, the departure of Brandon Nelson, who hit over 400 last season, was one of the Tigers' best hitters. A big left-handed gap in this lineup. Chops this one foul down the first base line. Evens the count at 2-2. Wind takes a slight turn out to center field. Now blowing directly out. I'm sure it'll shift over to the left here and there. Dixon trying to take advantage of the wind, maybe. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 4th strikeout for McCarthy, and another 1-2-3 inning. Sends us to the 3rd. Tufts with the 1-0 lead. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University, where the Tufts Jumbos have the 1-0 lead. And A.J. Lisko will lead off the inning. Takes a strike from Beck. Lisko so far 0 for 1, flew out to left field in his only plate appearance. Hitting third today and at first base. Tufts out hitting the Tigers 4-0 so far. This is fouled right above the Trinity dugout. Brings the count to 0-2. Wind continues to blow out to dead center field. Bit of a shift from the prior couple innings. Beck now having to deal with that. Deals the 0-2 in the dirt. And Writing has to get in front of that to stop it from going to the backstop. He's had a couple of blocks today. Now the count at 1-2. In the dirt again, and Lisko takes it again. Coach Stark talking about how wanted to get this offense going a little bit, had been winning on largely just not giving up runs, only giving up 9 runs in 5 games so far. This is lined into right field, and it's a base hit for Lisko. The 3rd consecutive inning that Tufts has had the leadoff man aboard. 2nd consecutive they've had it by way of a base hit. And now it brings up Brooks Fisher, making his 2nd appearance of the season. Only 1 plate appearance, got a single in it. Pops this one up, but drifting out of play and foul, goes down as a high strike 1. Talked about how Beck has been getting hit around a little bit lately. Hasn't been giving up a lot of runs, but still a lot of traffic on the base paths. Pitched 6 hitless innings to start his season against the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Pitch misses in the dirt, Writing able to get in front of it. Keeps Lisko where he is at first base. But since that start against Wisconsin-Whitewater, he's given up 7 hits and 9 hits in his 2 respective starts. Already has given up 5 hits in this one into the 3rd. Waves at that pitch. Fisher quickly down 0-2. But still a guy Trinity and coaching staff overall have the utmost confidence in. Talked about Beck with Dave Smith before the season started as he has to exchange that baseball. Talking about how much better his arsenal's gotten. Said he couldn't promise that that would be reflective in the stats because you can't always predict these things in the sport, but overall that he was a much better pitcher than he was last year. Said last season he won predominantly on throwing strikes. That's why they were hesitant to pitch him into the 5th inning. 1-2 fouled off, and we'll do it again. Last season Beck did not pitch 5 full innings. He's done that twice already this year. Coach Smith saying a guy that they will be very hesitant to take out before 5 innings from now on. Starter that they want to count on. 1-2, throw to first, not in time. So a lot of confidence still coming from this Trinity coaching staff, but Beck once again trying to work around some traffic. Runner on first, nobody out, 1-0 lead for Tufts. 1-2 is roped out to right field, and it falls for a base hit. The 6-1 of the game for Tufts. Throw to third is cut off, and the Jumbos have runners at the corners. Base hit for Brooks Fisher, who came in place of the injured Banish. That position in the lineup has reached both times today. Brings up McKiernan. Hits one out to right field. Dixon will let it fall. Run comes in from third to score, and it's 2-0 Tufts. Once again, getting a run before they even record an out in the inning. 3 consecutive base hits. This one just nicely hit the other way off the bat of Owen McKiernan. And it will warrant a visit from Dave Smith. 7 hits so far for Tufts, 0 for Trinity in the third. Runners now on first and second, nobody out. Jake Beck working on usual rest, has pitched every Saturday so far this season. Of course, the odd thing about this series is that game 1 being played on Saturday instead of Friday, like it usually would be. It's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. So Trinity opting to just give Beck his regular rest and move everybody else around. Beck ready to go now. Has surrendered 3 consecutive base hits, 7 hits overall, only 1 of them for extra bases. That was the first hit of the game off the bat of Whitfield. Trying to get the first out of the third inning. Dealing with Cole Bohane. And he hits him. Bohane was trying to bunt. Pitch rides high and inside, and it's the second hit batter given up by Beck today. Loads the bases. Tufts going for a jumbo-sized inning, and they'll have to do it against another pitcher, as that will be the day for Jake Beck. Surrenders 2 runs, 7 hits, and gets pulled in the third inning, as Trinity will go to the bullpen early on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the sunny Alamo City, where Tufts has a 2-0 lead and will face a new pitcher with the bases loaded. It's Jack Bousard, who the Tigers bring in to try and get out of this bases loaded jam with nobody out. Fires strike 1 to Kamen, who's 1 for 1 with a base hit so far in this game. Bousard comes in with an ERA of just over 1, a 1-1 record. This is popped up straight into the air, playable. Writing right underneath of it. And the ball gets away, and they'll just take the out at home. So Riding couldn't quite read it in the sun. Lets it fall, and it goes down as a foul ball. Everybody going back. So came in a second lease on life. That would have been just as good as a strikeout. Swing and a miss. And that's strike three. So Bousard, who had the pop-up straight up into the air, probably should have been an out, gets the out there. And exactly what the doctor ordered for the Tigers with the bases loaded and nobody out. Goes down as out number one, and Caden Abraham steps into the batter's box. Takes a ball outside. Abraham 0 for 1, struck out against Beck in his only plate appearance. Pitch misses 2-0. All three runners on for Tufts are the responsibility of Beck and would be charged to him if they come to score. 3-0, and Bousard in danger of walking in a run. Fisher waiting on third. The pitch to Abraham, the 3-0. Finds the zone, strike called. Infield playing in at the corners. Baker and Lustina both on the infield grass. Ground ball, bobble that short by Ramsey. One run comes in to score, another coming around. The throw is wide, and it's 4-0 Jumbos. Could have been a double play. Instead, 2 runs in for the Jumbos. Ball just bobbled by John Ramsey. Fisher comes in to score easily, and McKiernan right behind him. Goes down as an E6. And now Jesse McCullough, the 9-hole hitter today, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Still only 1 out. Breaking ball goes for a strike. Bousard, the lefty, trying to find his way out of this. Nearly did on that last plate appearance. Fouled into the screen. McCullough down 0-2. A rare error from John Ramsey, who's usually very solid defensively at shortstop. Try to pick off the runner, and it nearly gets into center field. Sawyer Haynes has to leap up to catch that ball. McCullough trying to set up the top of the lineup. Grounds 1 to second. This could be 2. Ramsey makes the throw to first. It's in time. And the 4-6-3 double play will end the inning, but not before Tufts cashes in with the bases loaded. 2-run score, 3 overall in the frame, and they have the 4-0 lead. Sends us to the bottom of the third on Tiger Network. Welcome back to game one of the series between Tufts and Trinity. The Jumbos with the 4-0 lead on number 9 ranked Trinity University. Tigers looking for their first hit of this game, and leading off the inning will be Matthias Writing. 379 hitters so far this year. The catcher takes strike one. McCarthy still on the mound, has yet to give up a base runner in this game. The 0-1. Inside, evens the count at 1-1. Tigers getting out hit 7-0 so far, losing this game 4-0. Writing waves at that pitch out ahead of the slider. A flat start overall for Trinity. The error in that last frame costing them 2 runs. Their starter, Jake Beck, done in this game, getting hit around. As Writing bloops this one to center field, falling, and it falls in front of the center fielder, Abraham, for a base hit. So all of a sudden, the Tigers off the schneid, their first base runner of the day. The inside-out swing able to find its way into the center field grass. The leadoff man aboard. And it brings up Nick Jones, who's hitting 8th today, a bat the Tigers really want to get going. Hitting 200 so far this year with 4 RBI. Takes a pitch for ball 1. Coach Scannell always very complimentary of the talent of Nick Jones, just somebody who needs to put it together this year. Strike called. It's one of the issues that Scannell's talked about with this Tigers offense, is mainly these upperclassmen that just haven't gotten it going so far. Some of the batting averages a little lower than they usually are, but at the same time, water usually finds its level. Trying to find it as we hit conference play next weekend. Writing able to dive back safely. Trinity putting together this difficult schedule that featured 2 teams that went to the College World Series last season, then Babson and Tufts coming in from the New England area. Writing gets back safely once again. Very difficult non-conference schedule. Tigers said they didn't want to be surprised. They got to the College World Series and they saw teams that ended up being there kind of like they were last year. Pitch taken outside, 2-1. It was kind of a weird year. The Tigers' final year in the SCAC. A couple of other teams joined. Just a lot of conference games. Not a lot of room to bring in high-quality non-conference teams. And then all of a sudden, you see a team like Whitewater in the World Series, and you realize you haven't played anybody even close to that all year. Slider misses on the 2-1. Jones waiting for the pitch. Ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner on first is Writing. Swing and a miss. A bluff from Whitfield forces Writing to dive back, trying to get his counterpart at first base. The strike runs the count full, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Jones goes down swinging on the breaking ball. The 5th strikeout of the game for McCarthy. 1 away. And now stepping up to the plate is John Ramsey, the shortstop in today's game. Ramsey, who's been one of the Tigers' best hitters so far this season, hitting at .364 clip. Now in his 8th start of the year, slugging .682. And pokes one out to left field for a base hit. Second hit of the inning for Trinity, their second of the game as well. 2 aboard, 1 down. So Ramsey somewhat atoning for the error in the last half inning. Puts 2 aboard. And it flips the lineup over. Caleb Woodward. The lefty still hitting above 500 so far this year. Making his 6th start of the year. Missed a lot of the season due to injury as he drives one high to right field, left. And Abraham ranges over to make the catch. Both runners are tagging, and both will make it. So Woodward flies out for the 2nd out of the inning, but advances both runners to 2nd and 3rd. Brings up Cal Coney. Coney, the designated hitter today. 0 for 1, struck out looking in the 1st. Opportunity for the Tigers to try and get back into this game. So far getting out hit 7-2, both hits coming in this inning. Coney takes a strike. Trying to drive in the first runs of the game for Trinity, down 0-1. Coney lines one into center field. Riding will score from 3rd. Being waved around from 2nd is Ramsey. He slides in. The deficit has been cut in half. It's 4-2. The 2-run single from Cal Coney, his 2nd consecutive game with multiple RBIs. The Tigers trying to battle their way back in this game. Brings up Will Baker. 0 for 1 today, a fly out to right. A .341 hitter so far this year coming into the game. Takes a strike. 9 runs scored, 9 RBI, still leads the team in that category. Down 0-1. Try and get Coney. He's back safely, getting a hand on the bag. Hit the other way into left field, and it's falling and rolling all the way to the wall. Coney going from 1st to 3rd. Baker sliding into 2nd with a 2-out double. And he represents the tying run in the 3rd. Something that Will Baker does so well, hitting the ball the other way like that. Multiple extra base hits this year have come all the way to that cutout, including his home run. And that will promote a visit from the Tufts pitching staff. Michael Lustina waiting for his opportunity to potentially tie this game. McCarthy was rolling coming into the 3rd, had yet to give up a base runner. Has given up 4 so far in this inning, including 2 runs. The first year, maybe facing his first bit of adversity so far in his young collegiate career. Now faces Michael Lustina, 0 for 1, grounded out to short. Tigers trying to tie this game in the blink of an eye. A .270 hitter so far this year in Lustina. Grounds one softly up the middle, fielded at short by Henson. Throw to first in time. The nice stretch by Lisco to end the inning prevents a run from scoring, but Trinity gets 2 back. It's 4-2 as we'll head to the 4th. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Tigers able to get a couple of runs and cut this deficit to 4-2. Jack Bousard back on the mound for the Tigers. Here in the fourth inning, was able to get the outs in the third inning, all three of them, in relief of Jake Beck. Misses that pitch, 2-0. Top of the order in Whitfield up to bat, the catcher today, 2 for 2. Single and a double in this game. Takes a strike. Both of those coming against Trinity starter Jake Beck, who gets pulled in the third inning. Pitches 2 innings overall, gives up 7 hits. Swing and a miss there, evens the count at 2-2. And in danger of taking the loss today if Trinity can't come all the way back. Good start in the third inning, though. Swing and a miss, and Whitfield is down for the first time today. Bousard blows the express right by him. And it brings up the shortstop, Henshin. 1 for 2 overall today. Base hit that came in the first inning. First pitch from Bousard. It's a strike, 0-1. Coach Stark and his staff have to be happy with the way that this has gone offensively. Already 4 runs on the board. And already 7 hits. Strike called. Now the 0-2. Chopped to third. Lustina makes a throw in time, and there's quickly 2 away. It's a tough offense that's trying to continue their hot start to this game. Already 4 runs. As Lisco will step into the batter's box. 1 for 2 of the base hit in the third. An offense last season that didn't rank very highly in a lot of things. Lisco takes a strike. 8th or 9th overall in the conference in pretty much every major statistical category outside of walks and home runs. Quickly down 0-2. But come into this game 5-0 and a chance to make a national impression if they were to come out of here with a series victory. Even only 1 loss would make quite the statement. The 0-2 from Bousard misses high. Now the 1-2. Chopped but foul, and we'll do it again. Tufts has primarily relied on not giving up runs in order to win these games. They've, in their 5-0 stretch, a 5-game winning streak, obviously, have allowed 1.8 runs per game. Total of 9 runs through 5 games. Pitch misses high, but 6 of those runs came against JWU in that comeback win on Wednesday. This really didn't give up anything in that 4-game series against Hobart. Now the 2-2 with 2 down. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Bousard strikes out 2 batters in the inning and goes 3 up, 3 down. Sends us to the bottom of the frame in San Antonio. Tigers trail by 2. Welcome back. The bottom of the fourth inning here on the campus of Trinity University. Tigers trail by 2. Got 2 runs back in the bottom of the third, trying to continue that momentum. As Sawyer Haynes is up to bat. Going against McCarthy for the second time today. Takes strike 1. Haynes 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 of 5 that McCarthy has racked up so far in this game. Tigers able to get to him in the bottom of the third, though. This is grounded right up the middle and into center field. A base hit for Sawyer Haynes. And for the second consecutive inning, the leadoff man is aboard. And that will bring up Will Dixon. Just like Haynes, he was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Working with the runner on first and nobody out. Squaring up to bunt. Pulls it back for ball 1. Third baseman Bohane playing all the way in on the infield grass, was charging for that bunt opportunity. We'll see if Dixon squares up again. Bohane looks like he's ready to go again. Dixon takes it inside and it hits him. The first hit batter for McCarthy today, and it puts runners on first and second, nobody out. Slider that slid too much. And it will prompt a visit from Whitfield. A quick one-on-one meeting of the battery on the mound. Now the third baseman Bohane will join. Maybe ready for a bunt attempt here from Matthias Riding. Got the hitting party started for the Tigers now with 5 hits on the game. Got the first one to lead off the third inning. Opportunity for the Tigers to try and tie this game. First and second, nobody out. Riding squares up to bunt but pulls it back. Both quarter infielders were charging that time, though Bohane eventually backed off to cover third. See how aggressive Tufts decides to be if Riding does bunt, whether they try to go for one of the lead runners or not. See if Riding bunts at all. Ahead 1-0, squaring up again, pulls it back, and this gets away. Looked like it went off the padding of Whitfield, found its way all the way to the screen and the backstop. Both runners advancing the 90 feet. And the tying run in the fourth inning in scoring position with nobody out. See exactly where this hit. Breaking ball hit off the glove and then off the helmet. Now the 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. And you wonder if Whitfield just maybe got crossed up on that pitch that got all the way to the backstop. The 3-0. Strike called. Likely a red light situation for Matthias Riding. Infield playing in at the corners, but back at the middle. Riding ahead 3-1. And they'll bluff to third. Trinity dugout was yelling. Maybe wanted a balk, but nothing called. Runner on third is Haynes. Runner on second is Dixon. The 3-1 hits Riding in the head. So he'll take first base, getting rid of that helmet. Maybe saying it cracked it. Immediately flipped the helmet. And now we'll get a new one and head to first base. The base is loaded with nobody out. See where this pitch got him. Looked like right in the head. Oh, right at the bottom. That could have been dangerous. Writing with the new helmet. Bases loaded now, nobody out. And this time it looks like head coach Brian Start coming out for a meeting with his pitcher McCarthy. First year who gave up his first 2 runs of his Tufts career in the last inning. 2 of them in the bottom of the 3rd. Now the bases filled with Tigers, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. So far, nobody coming out of the bullpen. Looks like this is just a conversation. McCarthy keeps the baseball, and it looks like he'll keep his spot on the mound. Has given up a base hit and has hit back-to-back batters to load the bases for Nick Jones. 0 for 1 and struck out against McCarthy the only time he saw him. First pitch to Jones. Strike called on the outside part of the plate. Similar spot, but a different call. A little bit further outside that time, and it evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on 3rd is Haynes. Runner on 2nd is Dixon. The runner on 1st is Matthias Writing. Breaking ball misses. And Whitfield did a good job to keep that in front of him. Now a 2-1 hitters count. The pitch to Jones. Outside again. McCarthy in danger of walking in a run with the bases loaded. Nick Jones trying to come through in a big spot. The 3-1. Tap foul and the count runs full. Tigers with 5 hits, all of them coming in the last 2 innings. Trying to add a 6th on the 3-2. Jones grounds 1, could be 2. Flip to 2nd in time. Throw to 1st. It's a double play. Run scores in the back door, so it's 4-3, but exactly what Tufts wanted, as they'll take that trade any day of the week. Six, 4-3 on the twin killing. Does score a run, so now 4-3, and it brings up the bottom of the order in Ramsey. 1 for 1 with a base hit. Now Will Dixon, the runner on 3rd. Strike called on the breaking ball. This time the breaking ball misses up. Got to imagine it's big for the first-year pitcher to get the double play in that situation. The bases loaded, nobody out, only surrenders 1 run possibly. Just needs 1 more out to protect the lead here in the 4th. Ramsey waves at that. And now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning almost unscathed. The 1-2. Ramsey bloops 1 into shallow center field, falling, but not fast enough as McCullough goes back to end the inning. Bases were loaded, nobody out. Tigers only get 1 run as McCarthy wiggles his way out of traffic. Sends us to the 5th in San Antonio. Tufts up 4-3. Welcome back to San Antonio. Top of the 5th inning. Brooks Fisher set to lead off the frame for Tufts, who's holding on to a 1-run lead. Fisher takes ball 1 from Bousard, who's back on the mound after 2 full innings of work. Struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced in the 4th. Fisher takes a ball outside, 2-0. So far, Bousard has been able to hold the deficit. Hit high in the air, shallow center field. Woodward coming in and calling, and makes the catch for quick out number 1. Bousard so far has had a solid season coming out in relief. A 1.08 ERA coming into this game. That's only lowered since he's entered. A 1-1 win-loss record, now his 5th appearance. Been a great middle reliever for them. Breaking ball finds the zone for a strike. Owen McKiernan now up for Tufts. Takes the ball 1-1. As you saw on the screen, his new ERA is .84. Swing and a miss. McKiernan down 0-2, off balance swing. Or excuse me, 1-2. Pitch outside, evens the count at 2-2. Tufts still out hitting Trinity 7-5. Bousard has not given up any of those hits. Trying to keep it that way here in the 5th. This is blooped, but riding out of play and foul. So we'll do it again at 2-2. Breaking ball misses low. Bousard, the lefty, trying to get the second guy he sees in the frame. That one finds his own, strike 3. 4th strikeout of Jack Bousard's outing, and there's 2 away with nobody on. Let's see what he went with here. Slider, bang. That is a tough pitch to see as Bohane will be the next guy Bousard faces. Check swing, but went around. Cole Bohane 0 for 1 in this game. He's reached by way of a hit by pitch. He's also struck out. Breaking ball misses low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, nobody on. Bousard going for his 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Ripped down the line, but foul. Would have been trouble in the corner if that ball stayed fair. Bohane just out ahead of it. Breaking ball misses high. Tried the same pitch he got the last strikeout with. That one misses the mark, evens the count at 2-2 with 2 down in the inning. Misses again, and the count runs full. 2nd consecutive full count dished out by Bousard. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bousard strikes out back-to-back batters to end the inning. He's completed 3 scoreless. As we're halfway through this one in San Antonio, bottom of the 5th, coming your way next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. A new arm on the mound for the Jumbos. It's Michael O'Brien. Been 6 innings so far this year. First pitch he throws is to Caleb Woodward, who drives one out to left field, carrying all the way back to the warning track, and it falls. Misread in left field as that ball kept carrying. Fisher couldn't get a glove on it. And Caleb Woodward's on with a leadoff double. Just able to drive the ball the other way. And it's the 3rd consecutive frame where the Tigers have the leadoff man aboard. Brings up Cal Coney, who's 1 for 2 today. Chops one to second. And McCullough makes the throw to get his counterpart. One away as Woodward advances to 3rd. Ends up being somewhat of a swinging bunt. And it sets up Will Baker. Baker 1 for 2 today, doubled in the 3rd. Hit the ball the other way. Out to left field. A .348 hitter so far this year. Rips one the other way, but foul. Spectators having to get out of the way of that one. O'Brien so far this year, a win-loss record of 1-0, pitched 6 innings in his only start of the year against Hobart. Did not allow a run, struck out 2, walked 2. As he looks back, Woodward to 3rd. So Coach Stark going with his lefty to face 2 of the best lefties Trinity has in their lineup. Is fouled into the screen. Baker quickly down 0-2. Baker down 0-2. Tying run already on 3rd base. Tigers were down 4-0 in the 3rd inning. Infield comes in as Baker lines one into right field. Woodward jogs home from 3rd, and this game is tied at 4. RBI single for Will Baker, his 10th Ribby of the year. The guy who can spread the ball all the way around. Able to pull it that time. And it ties this game at 4, ties the category of hits at 7 as well. As Lustina steps up to the batter's box. 0 for 2 today, still a .260 hitter on the year. Takes a strike. Talked a lot about Michael Lustina and his progression throughout last year. Haven't brought it up in a while, so might as well say it again. Started last year 3 for 28, but still ended the year on just a torrid run. He grounds one through the hole into center field. Baker will head to 2nd. And there's runners on 1st and 2nd with still 1 down in the inning. First hit of the game for Lustina. 3rd hit of the inning for Trinity. The Lustina, a guy who didn't start the year very well, but finished it in a big way. Big reason why he's an everyday bat in the lineup this year. Finished the year 15 for 41. That's a .366 average. Trying to get back to those ways. As Haynes chops one to 2nd, flip there, and they get the out. Henson, the shortstop, ended up being the one fielding it, it looked like. Flipped it to McCullough, and they get the out. 2nd one of the inning. See exactly what happened here. It was actually the other way around. McCullough flipping it to Henson. Nearly didn't get anybody as Haynes able to reach on the fielder's choice. 2 down in the inning, and it brings up Will Dixon. Hit by a pitch the last time he was up. He's also struck out today. Runners at the corners, 2 down. And O'Brien will throw to 1st. And this is actually a pinch hitter. Jack Henning takes over for Dixon. So Scannell making some moves. Henning rips one, but fouled into the screen. Henning, who's gotten a couple of pinch hitting appearances so far this year. Still looking for his first hit. This is 6th game. This is grounded into right field for a base hit, and that'll give Trinity the lead. Baker jogs home from third. And Haynes goes first to third. First hit of the season for Jack Henning. It's an RBI. The Tigers, who were down 4-0, doesn't last long, already come back to take the lead in the 5th inning. And now it's Matthias Writing. Hit by a pitch in the last inning. Base hit in the inning before that. Takes the ball high. See the replay of the base hit from Henning. Just able to find a hole. And the Tigers, who were getting out hit 7-0, are now out hitting the Jumbos 9-7. Henning running. The throw will get the runner in a rundown, and Henning tagged out to end the inning. But still an inning where the Tigers plate 2 and take a 5-4 lead. It sends us to the 6th in San Antonio. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Jack Kamen will lead off the inning for the Tufts, who now find themselves down a run despite having the 4-0 lead at one point. Kamen 1 for 2 in today's game, a base hit in the 2nd. Off Tiger starter Jake Beck has faced Bousard one time. He struck out against him. Ahead 2-0 on him this time. The wind is shifted back over to left field, though it's slowed down a little bit. Cuts and misses at that pitch. Still a 2-1 hitter's count. This is chopped but fair. Bousard picks it up and throws it calmly to first. A stretch from Baker for out number 1. Couple of defensive substitutions to note. Jack Henning obviously pinch hitting in that last inning for Will Dixon, and he will be replaced by Callan Singhania, who takes over in right field. And then an inning ago, Nick Jones was replaced by Pierce Matthews. He's in left field right now. So a couple of changes in the outfield. Strike called to Abraham. 0 for 2 today, has reached on an error. Misses with that pitch, and it evens the count at 1-1. The lefty-lefty matchup. Bousard trying to complete his 4th inning in this game. Abraham strokes one to left field, but Matthews ranges over and makes the catch in left center for out number 2. Looked like that ball was going to fall for a second, but just hung in the air. And Bousard has retired 9 consecutive hitters. Now faces McCullough and misses excuse me, hits the zone. Strike one. Cuts and misses at that pitch. Quickly down 0-2 as Bousard is just mowing Jumbos down right now. He's done an excellent job in the pen and has taken them to the point where maybe they hoped Jake Beck would have gotten. Swing and a miss there. Strikeout to end the inning for Bousard. His third consecutive 1-2-3 inning sends us to the bottom of the sixth in San Antonio. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Tigers with the 5-4 lead in the bottom of the sixth, and Matthias Riding will lead off the frame. Looks like Whitfield behind the plate, fixing some equipment. Looks like he's fixing his mask and his pads. Definitely want to get those in order. Safety first. Riding has reached both times today. Base hit and a hit by pitch. The inning ended in a rundown, so Riding will get a do-over of his plate appearance that he started in the last inning. Rips one off the glove of O'Brien. Still a play to be made maybe, but Tufts will decide not to make the throw as Bohane just deciding to pocket it at third. Second hit of the game for Matthias Riding, who's hitting over 400 now on the season. Looked like this was going to go into center field anyways. So O'Brien doing his best job to stop it, but ultimately hit too hard. Now Pierce Matthews will come up. Takes a strike. Matthews, a defensive replacement earlier in this game for Nick Jones. The spot in the order, currently 0 for 2. Matthews pops one up onto the roof of the Bell Center. Foul. 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. Matthews hitting .208 so far this season, entering his 10th game of the year. Takes a ball high and outside. Whitfield has to come out of his crouch for. O'Brien surrendered 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning in relief of McCarthy, who pitched the first 4 and allowed 3 runs. Matthews ahead of that one, and a swing and a miss. Goes down as a strikeout and the first out of the inning. And it brings up John Ramsey to the plate. Ramsey 1 for 2 in this game, a base hit in the 3rd. Was the 2nd hit of the game at the time for Trinity. They now have 10. Swings and misses at a breaking ball for strike 1. Matthias Riding, the batter, waiting on first. Tigers going for an insurance run should they need it, and usually in Division III baseball you do. Fouled off into the screen. Riding was off and running with the pitch. See if he decides to do that again. Looks like the hit and run was called. Tigers operate a green light offense where the batters can call a hit and run whenever they want. Coach Scannell trusts their judgment. Riding out ahead of this one and fouls it right to third base coach Joey Deering. Fields it on a hop and flips it back to his own dugout. Ramsey down 0-2. And a good pickoff move, but a balk call. O'Brien had Writing dead to rights at first base, but instead Writing will take second. So he started his movement. We'll see on the replay. And yeah, looked like he was engaging, started his movement, threw to first. Pitch just misses to Ramsey. Brings the count to 1-2. Chops it foul, and this time Deering able to field it cleanly from his position. The 1-2 gets all the way to the backstop, but Writing, the catcher, very wise to how this ballpark works, will stay at second base. So he knows how quickly that ball can carry him right back to the catcher. That may be one of the fastest I've ever seen. Give the Jumbos a little introduction to this field and how it operates. So when a ball gets all the way to the backstop that quickly, it will shoot right back to the catcher. Goes down as ball 2 in this case. And that's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for O'Brien. There's 2 gone in the inning. We'll flip the lineup over. Caleb Woodward ready to go. Doubled the last time he was up. Bit of a misread from Fisher out in left field. A ball that just hung into the air and drifted a little further back than he was anticipating, largely thanks to the wind. Ball way high as Whitfield has to jump up for that one. Woodward 1 for 3 overall. He struck out, flew out, and he's also doubled. An insurance run, and Matthias Writing waiting on second base. Strike called. So O'Brien gave up 2 runs in the last inning he pitched, allowed the leadoff man to reach, but so far has settled in. Pitch misses inside. Count now 2-1. The 2-1. Strike called. Was in a similar place, but O'Brien gets the call this time. Wind has taken a bit of a turn, now blowing directly out to center field. You can see where the flags are going as Woodward strokes this one into center field. Not quite, as McCullough able to make the stop. Still goes down as a base hit. Saves a run, though. Looked like it was going to get past the dive of McCullough at second, able to keep it in the infield. This had base hit written all over it. The outstretched arm, what a play. And able to flip it to Henshin to stop the run from scoring. Still runners at the corners. Cal Coney now up to bat. Woodward steps back safely. Last time the Tigers were in this situation with 2 down, they tried a bit of a play on the base paths, trying to sneak in the run from third. See if they can do it here. Pitch to Coney, misses up. Coney ahead 1-0. 1 for 3 overall. Singled in the third. Also with 2 RBIs to his name. Hits this one to left field. Fisher ranging over and makes the play that ends the inning. So the Tigers leave 2 stranded in the bottom of the 6th. We'll head to the 7th on Tiger Network. Trinity with the 5-4 lead. Top of the 7th in San Antonio. Tigers with the 5-4 lead. And the top of the Tufts lineup coming up to the plate. There's a quick drive out to left field, and it's past the dive of Matthews. Whitfield will head into second as a quick double for him. Swinging at the first pitch, able to pull that ball somehow off the end of the bat. Matthews tried to make the leaping catch. Unable to do so, and is the first base runner for Tufts in their last 10 batters. Bousard had retired 10 in a row. Tying run aboard in the 7th. James Henshin. 1 for 3 in this game, a .250 hitter on the year. His base hit coming in the first inning. Slider misses low and inside, ball 1. And time called. I think telling Bousard that he needs to engage. So Henshin will step back in. Runner on second is Whitfield. Tufts trying to tie this game, a game that they led 4-0 in the 3rd. Bousard misses behind 2-0. There has yet to be a batter walked in this game. 18 combined strikeouts between these two pitching staffs, 11 for Trinity, 7 for Tufts. And no walks handed out. And it looks like that will be the day for Jack Bousard. Dave Smith going to the bullpen as Bousard pitches strong middle innings in relief. As he leaves with the tying run on second base. We'll take a break on Tiger Network. Pitching change when we come back. Welcome back. The new arm on the mound for Trinity is Andrew Mason. Comes into this game with an 0-1 record through 1 inning pitched. Gave up an earned run, so has the ERA of 9. Comes in with nobody out in the tying run on second base. Facing the top of this Tufts lineup in Henshin. Comes in with a 2-0 count and throws ball 3. Pitch that just misses inside. So Mason behind 3-0. Danger of walking the first batter of the game. Finds the zone that time. Strike called. Mason does walk this batter. The walk would go to Jack Bousard. who left this game in the 2-0 count. Now it's a 3-1 count. Still nobody out. High ball 4, and that is the first walk assessed by either team in this game. As Tufts has the go-ahead run on with nobody out. See already some action in the Trinity bullpen. They try the pickoff at second. Again, to no avail. No batter picked off yet in this game. Mason working with runners on first and second. And will face Lisco now. Number 3 hitter in this Tufts lineup. 1 for 3 overall, singled in the 3rd. And now squares up to bunt. Pulls it back for ball 1. Will Baker charging in from first base, ready to field the bunt if needed. Sawyer Haynes would cover from second. And Mason steps off. Tigers took their first lead of the game in the bottom of the 5th inning. They've held it ever since. Tufts trying to change that here in the 7th. Wind now blowing out to left field. Lisco bunts. Mason fields it with his bare hand, throws to first in time, and the sacrifice is complete. Both runners advancing to second and third. And now Brooks Fisher comes up to the plate. A replacement for Banish, who was hit on the wrist by Trinity starter Jake Beck in the 1st inning. It's been Fisher ever since that point. Banish stayed in to run, but was ultimately replaced when he had to play the field. Swing and a miss. And a ball in the dirt quickly, 0-1. Mason able to get the first out of this inning by way of the sacrifice bunt. Now working with the go-ahead run in scoring position. The 0-1 to Fisher. In the dirt, and it gets away from Writing. That'll bring home the tying run. So Whitfield, who led off this inning with a double, comes all the way around to score, and Tufts has tied this game at 5. This one on a wild pitch. So the job a little bit easier, maybe a little less pressure for Fisher now. Pops one up, shallow left field. Matthews coming in, makes the call and the catch. Runner still tagging, now bluffs. And goes back to third. So Matthews able to do his job and keep the runner right where he is. 2 down in the inning. Brings up Owen McKiernan. 1 for 3 today, a 300 hitter on the year. Went around on the first pitch, and he's down 0-1. The tying run has been charged to Jack Bousard, who had retired 10 consecutive jumbos. The man who broke up that streak ended up scoring. Breaking ball misses, evens the count at 1-1. Mason trying to finish the 7th and keep this game at the very least tied. Go ahead run at third right now. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Riding has to throw to first, finishes the job. And that ends the 7th, but not before Tufts able to strike back and tie this game at 5. It's time to stretch in San Antonio. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th next. Back in San Antonio, Texas, a newly tied game in the bottom of the 7th, 5-5, as Tufts was able to scratch a run in the top of the inning. Will Baker will lead off the bottom of the frame for the Tigers. O'Brien still on the mound for Tufts, and he fires strike 1 with a breaking ball. Baker 2 hits today, 2 for 3 overall. Double and a single. Takes a ball high, 1-1. The base hit in the 5th. Wound up giving the Tigers the 5-4 lead, his 10th RBI of the season. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire. Thought about swinging at that slider below the zone. Instead, it's a 2-1 hitter's count. Strike called, evens the count at 2-2. It's the Tigers offense that's trying to get going a little bit. They've scored 5 runs today, but if you look at their ranks across Division III baseball and important offensive categories, not where they want to be. Baker grounds one softly to his counterpart at first. Lisco takes it to the bag himself, and one away in the 7th. Brings up Michael Lustina, who got a base hit the last time he was up. 1 for 3 overall. But if you look at some of these offensive categories, Trinity ranks 161st in batting average, 154th in on-base percentage, 206th in scoring, and 194th in slugging. Just not quite where they want to be in a lot of these important areas. Pitch misses. Count now 1-0. This is chopped foul towards the Trinity dugout. Count evens at 1-1. Pitch high, 2-1. O'Brien trying to hold this game in a tie game. No longer on the hook for the loss, thanks to his team tying it in the 7th. Swing and a miss from Lustina evens the count at 2-2. Interesting fact about Michael O'Brien is that he's the son of Bill O'Brien, who you may know as the head coach of Boston College currently. There's strike 3. Pitch on the inside edge gets Lustina. First strikeout of the inning for O'Brien, and there's 2 away. Brings up Sawyer Haynes. Haynes 1 for 3 today, a base hit in the 4th. Strike called. Haynes down 0-1. lofts one to center field. Abraham able to come in and make the catch. It's a quick 1-2-3 inning for O'Brien, as Tufts will have an opportunity to take the lead in the 8th. This still a tie game at 5. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Final 2 innings of this one. Tie game at 5. Cole Bohane will lead off the inning and send one to center field. Woodward ranging over, calling and making the catch in right center for a quick out number 1 on 1 pitch. Andrew Mason remains on the mound for the Tigers. Completed the 7th inning in relief of Jack Bousard. Now back out here for the 8th. Will face Jack Kamen. 1 for 3 in this game, a base hit in the 2nd. Takes ball 1. Tigers trying to finish a close game, an area where they've been lacking a little bit recently. Able to win a tight one for most of it against Muhlenberg. This is fouled into the screen, 1-1. It was a 2-1 game in the 7th inning before the Tigers eventually pulled away, but lost a couple of close ones against Kane. Lost 6-5 in game 1, ended up losing 8-3 in game 3, but that was a tie game pretty late. This is chopped the other way. Haynes picks it up, and covering is Mason to get out number 2. Will Baker also went for that ball at first, but clear communication saves the day there. 2 up, 2 down so far in this inning for Tufts. Caden Abraham now up. The center fielder today, so far hitless. Pops one up, left side. It's falling, and it falls into the Trinity bullpen, out of play. So everybody has to go back to their respective positions. 3 Tigers running after that. And Abraham has to go all the way back to the batter's box. There is a pitch clock, so he may need to hurry up, unless time was called. And they have just reset it, so he's good. Now a ball and a strike. Of course, we see that every now and then where somebody thinks it's ball 4, starts to head to first base, flips their bat, and then they have to hustle a little bit to get back, collect the bat, and engage. The 1-1. Strike called, inside edge. Mason trying to finish a clean 8th. Ahead 1-2. In the dirt, and that evens the count. The 2-2 with 2 down in the inning. Just misses. And the count runs full. Jesse McCullough, the 9-hole hitter, waiting on deck. See if he gets an opportunity with the go-ahead run on. Outside, ball 4. And the second walk of the game allowed by Trinity pitching comes with 2 down in the 8th inning. Brings up Jesse McCullough 0 for 3 today, has struck out twice. And it looks like he will face a new pitcher. That'll be the day for Andrew Mason. Leaves a runner on first with 2 down in the 8th. And I'll have to watch the rest of this game from the dugout. New arm coming in, as this game is still tied in San Antonio, 5-5. Welcome back to a tie game in San Antonio. New arm on the mound for the Tigers is Will Taylor. Comes in with an ERA of 1.64 through 11 innings pitched, a 1-0 record. 16 strikeouts, 1 walk. Or 2 walks, excuse me, and he delivers strike 1 there. Comes in with the go-ahead run on first base. His last appearance was able to earn the save against Muhlenberg. Now faces Jesse McCullough, 0 for 3 today. Runner goes, righting, throws to second. Close, but not in time. A stolen base for Abraham, as now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Now the 1-1. Misses, and it's 2-1. Will Taylor, one of the most trusted arms the Tigers have in this bullpen. Trying to work against the bottom of the order here and preserve this tie game. Give his offense a chance. Outside, and it's 3-1. So Taylor in danger of setting up the top of the order, in Whitfield, who already has 3 hits today. He waits on deck. Trying to just take care of McCullough and end this inning. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Only the 3rd walk of the year allowed by Will Taylor, and now an opportunity for the top of this Tufts lineup. Back-to-back 2-out walks to put runners on first and second. And now it's Malcolm Whitfield. 3 for 4 today, a .364 hitter on the year. 2 doubles and a single. The lefty-righty matchup. Taylor delivers, and that ball gets away. So the wild pitch will make his job even harder. 2 runners in scoring position. Both runners advancing 90 feet. So now the force out at almost any base is taken away. Whitfield ahead, 1-0. Taylor trying to hear his pitch comm right now. It looks like he has it. Delivers a strike. Well, Taylor, no stranger to operating in chaotic scenarios. This one no different. Popped up into the infield. Baker and Haynes both there. Baker calls and makes the catch that ends the inning. So Taylor made it a little bit difficult at the end, but still gets the out. Sends us to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers an opportunity to take the lead in a tie game. Welcome back. The bottom of the 8th inning here on the campus of Trinity University, and it'll be the first plate appearance of the day for Callan Singhania. As Singhania will step out, umpire getting ready to go. O'Brien's still in the game for Tufts, going against Singhania, who sends one to right field. And the catch is made for out number 1. So Singhania's first plate appearance of the day is a quick one, an F9 to get things going for Tufts, and it brings up Matthias Writing. Reached all 3 times he's been up today, 2 for 2 overall. 2 singles, he's also been hit by a pitch. Works with 1 down, nobody on. Pitch outside, 1-0. Writing hitting over 400, starting his 9th game of the season, his 12th appearance. Ahead 2-0. Tufts trusting O'Brien to handle this lead, despite being used to starting. At least this season, 1 appearance, 1 start. Riding ahead of that one and fouls it to his own dugout. Now 2-1. But trusting O'Brien in this tight game, already has a win to his credit on the year. That one misses low, 3-1. O'Brien with 11 appearances last season, a 3.15 ERA. More walks than strikeouts, though. Still able to be effective. Trusting that track record here in this situation. Delivers the 3-1. Riding lines one into his own bullpen and foul. Out ahead of it once again. Brings up a countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Riding hits one the other way, and it's caught on a hop, as Lisco will take it to the bag himself for out number 2. We'll bring up Pierce Matthews. Matthews 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, hitting 200 on the year. Replaced Nick Jones earlier in this game. Breaking ball from O'Brien finds the zone. Strike called. Tigers out hitting Tufts 11-8. We're down in that category 7-0 to get this thing going, but Tufts battling back a little bit after Trinity took the lead in the category. O'Brien doesn't get the call on that last pitch. It's catcher Whitfield in a little bit of disbelief. Matthews lines one down the line, just foul. Just on the wrong side of that left field line for Trinity. Couple baseballs out there in this inning. Matthews now down 1-2. Breaking ball misses. Good take from Matthews. 2 balls, 2 strikes. O'Brien going for his 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Misses low, and the count runs full. Tigers may be thinking about a little 2-out magic. Need their first base runner first. Tapped foul. Matthews barely able to get a piece of it. Was well ahead of that breaking ball. Still 3-2. Chopped high to Bohane. Makes a throw across the diamond. That ends the inning. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Michael O'Brien. And that'll take us to the 9th. Still tied in San Antonio, 5-5. You're watching Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City tie game in the 9th inning. James Henshin leading things off for Tufts and takes ball 1 in the dirt from Will Taylor. Taylor, who was able to get the last out of the 8th inning, comes back out for the 9th. Is able to get a pop fly with runners on 2nd and 3rd. The 0-1. Lined to Haynes, who flips to first in time. Couldn't tell if that was caught on a line or caught on a hop. Turns out it was caught on a hop. And Sawyer Haynes able to get out number 1 regardless. See it on the replay, hitting it the other way. Brings up A.J. Lisco, number 3 hitter in today's lineup. Takes the ball inside. Lisco out on a sacrifice bunt the last time he was up in the 7th. Also has a base hit today. It came in the 3rd. The lefty-lefty matchup. Waves at that pitch, and it's 1-1. Taylor trying to shut it down in the 9th. Give the Tigers a chance to walk it off. This is hit the other way, but foul onto the roof of the batting cages, out and left. Will Taylor with 3 saves to his credit so far this year. Trying to get a win, only has 1 of those. 1-2 in the dirt. Fouled the other way, and we'll do it again at 2-2. One down, nobody on. Swing and a miss. And the first strikeout of the game for Will Taylor comes in the 9th. That will bring up Fisher. And it looks like it actually won't. Pinch hitter. And it looks like that will be Pearson Cooper, the junior from Bethesda, Maryland, making his first appearance of the season. Appeared in 6 games last year, totaled 1 hit, as he is charged with trying to be the first base runner of the 9th inning for Tufts. Goes against Will Taylor. Bell tower rings in the distance. Currently 4:30 local time. Swing and a miss. Cooper trying to come through in his first appearance of the season. Tufts came into this game 5-0. Trying to continue that winning streak. Pitch misses, 1-1. It's a Jumbos team that did not have a 3-game winning streak all of last year. Trying to continue that hot start. Get a landmark victory against the number 9 team in the country. Cuts and misses, and it's 1-2. Will Taylor trying to get all 3 guys he faces in the frame. The 1-2. Tapped foul, and we'll do it again. Cooper able to stay alive. John Ramsey is due up for the Tigers in the bottom of the ninth. Trinity trying to get there in a tie game. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Riding has to throw to first. Does it on a hop. Baker able to get it in time, and that ends the frame. Back-to-back strikeouts for Will Taylor. Takes us to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers trying to walk it off when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Tufts and Trinity tied at 5. Michael O'Brien back on the mound, and as promised, John Ramsey leading off the inning. Ramsey, the 9-hole hitter today. 1 for 3 overall. Takes ball 1. This may be the most important at-bat of the inning. Talk about how important it is to get the leadoff guy, particularly in this situation. Pitch misses up, 2-0. 2-0 count, not a situation Trinity batters have been in very much this year. Ramsey swings and fouls that ball off. Or at least today, that is. Tigers have not walked yet in this game. Only walks of this game handed out by Trinity pitching in the 7th inning or later. 2-1, misses up. Michael O'Brien came into this game pretty early on for a reliever into the 5th inning. Been going ever since. Pitch misses outside, and that's ball 4. The first walk allowed by Tufts pitching today. And the leadoff man is aboard in the 9th. Very close pitch. And it looks like head coach Brian Stark will come out. There's some stirring in the Tufts bullpen, so we'll see if that's the day for O'Brien. And it looks like it is. O'Brien allows the leadoff man to reach in an otherwise impressive outing in middle relief. New arm will come into the game for the Jumbos in the 9th. Winning run aboard for Trinity when we come back. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. New arm on the mound is Jack McLaughlin. Comes in with an ERA of 0 and a whip of 0. That's pretty good. Done that through 2 appearances and 1 2/3 innings pitched. Will face the top of the Trinity lineup in Caleb Woodward. 2 for 4 today with a single and a double. Works with the winning run on first base, and Ramsey thought about bunting, pulls it back for ball 1. The leadoff walk allowed by Michael O'Brien as Ramsey waits on first. And now McLaughlin trying to get his team out of the inning. Woodward thought about bunting again, but pulls it back for ball 2. Tigers unafraid to bunt anybody in this lineup, including arguably their best hitter, Caleb Woodward. Also somebody who's definitely a threat to reach on a bunt, though Tufts doing their best to prevent that with Bohane and Lisco ready. Particularly Bohane, as Lisco's currently occupied holding Ramsey on. Quick meeting of the battery on the mound, and it looks like we're good to go again. Bottom of the 9th. Runner on first, nobody out. Would be the winning run in Ramsey. The 2-0. Woodward gets the bunt down. Some confusion on who should field it, and the throw's high. Woodward safe. Both Lisco and McLaughlin charging in to field it, and in the end, nobody does. Looked like McLaughlin slipped, took out Lisco's legs, and he couldn't make the throw. It's now a real opportunity here. Runner on first in Woodward, and a runner on second in Ramsey. Looks like they've given Woodward a base hit for that. And now Coney squares up to bunt. Tufts in at the corners. Coney drops that bunt down, trying to get the lead runner. Did they get him? And it looks like yes. So Ramsey out on the bunt. Lisco was playing all the way in, decided to make the throw to third, and got him just in time. So Coney ends up reaching on the fielder's choice. Still runners on first and second. Now with 1 down, and it's Will Baker up. Baker takes a strike. Will Baker, the team leader in RBI. 10 so far this season. He's 2 for 4 today. Double and a single. Base hit here would likely win the game. The 0-1. Just misses, evens the count. Winning run in scoring position. The 1-1 to Baker. Thought about it, but takes ball 2. The lefty-lefty matchup here could decide this game. Pitch misses up, and it's 3-1. Michael Ustino waiting on deck. We'll see if it's his opportunity. The 3-1 to Baker. Misses low, ball 4, and that will load the bases. The second walk of the game for Trinity batting. Both of them coming in the 9th inning. And it brings up Michael Ustino. 1 for 4 today, a base hit in the 5th. O'Brien now off the hook for the loss since they got the lead runner. Tufts trying not to leave anybody on the hook. First pitch from McLaughlin misses to Lustina. Lustina drives one out to left field. It falls, and it's a walk-off winner. After being down 4-0, Trinity gets the walk-off to take game one of this series. In a game where they trailed 4-0 in the third, ended up taking the 5-4 lead, and Tufts ended up battling back to tie it at 5. Roller coaster of a game, but the Tigers win it 6-5 in the walk-off, and we'll see the hit again. Lustina coming through, a no-doubt double. Only needed one run, and he ended up getting it, as the Tigers come back and win this game 6-5 and hand Tufts their first loss of the year. The loss goes to McLaughlin, who just came into the game and pitched the 9th inning. The win to Will Taylor, his second of the year. He's now 2-0. As that'll do it for us in San Antonio. Tigers take game one 6-5. I'd like to thank everybody working on today's broadcast. Ariel Monson always out here on camera, and Josh Michigemba in the control room, working hard while all the student workers are out on spring break. For all those people, I'm Cole Isaacson signing off from San Antonio. Hope to see you at 2 p.m. tomorrow for game 2 of this series. Tigers, the winners today, 6-5.